Hello, and welcome to this episode of Batavia Spotlight, where we get to know more about community organizations and businesses here in Batavia and in our local communities. I'm Ellen Huxtable, your host, so let's get started. Today we have Catherine Fitch and Kathy Dremel with the Batavia Foundation for Educational Excellence. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Ellen.
Before we get into the latest things about the foundation, tell us a little bit about its creation.
Well, we just celebrated our 30-year anniversary, and it's actually kind of a great story how we started. Our superintendent at that time, Stephanie Marshall, was on an airplane and apparently spent much of the trip talking to the person next to her about an education foundation that person was working on in their community. And Stephanie came back and said, I think we need to do this in Batavia. And she thought that a school board member should be part of that process. And so Rosalie Jones-Link was the school board member who worked with Stephanie Marshall. And many of our first board members were some of the latest and greatest movers and shakers of the time. And our very first event, in our very first year, we brought in approximately $170,000, and we had a great event to celebrate that. And ever since then, we've been, for 30 years, doing whatever we can to support the students and the teachers in our community.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is the grant program for people that might not know about this?
Sure.
Well, the grants that we provide are from the funds that we obtain through fundraising and through our generous donors. And they are grants that are for students in the BPS101 district. So it's teachers, it could be PTOs, it could be community members. Anyone can apply for a grant as long as it is going to benefit the students of the BPS101 district.
Interesting. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the teacher in the district? It could be others?
No, not at all. Exactly. As a matter of fact, we recently, as a foundation, were introduced to the incubator program that was started at Barrington High School.
Okay.
And it's like a Shark Tank type of thing. And we became very interested in that and did a lot of research, and we are now supporting that program that is now part of the curriculum up at the high school. So that's something that kind of came directly from us that was brought to us.
I participated in that. That's a really, really unique program. So thank you very much for your support of it. It's a fantastic program.
We're very
excited. It's really
excited.
exciting. One of the things that we're trying to do both as a foundation and in our school district is to create more relationships with our community. Students who have authentic learning opportunities with business owners and with nonprofits and with volunteer activities, all of those things, we feel are going to send our students out with a much better opportunity to be successful after high school, regardless of whether they go straight to work, whether they do the armed forces, whether they're in college, all of those things, authentic learning experiences will only support that.
Absolutely. So how often are grants awarded during the year?
Currently, we have 2 opportunities for grants, the fall and then the spring. And our fall grants actually are due, I don't know when this is going to be airing, tomorrow. So we will be making a decision a couple of weeks after that as to who will be awarded the fall grants. But then our spring grants will be due, isn't it typically like April or mid-March, I think?
Like that.
And usually the fall grants are smaller. They're monetary amounts of $700 or less, and then the spring grants are $700 or greater.
Okay. And what do you do for fundraising? How do you get the money that you give out?
Very interesting that you should ask that. We just had a board meeting today, and as a foundation, we've had great success with fundraising relative to the supportive members of the community and businesses that have always supported us. And we've done different things. We've had golf outings. The last couple of years, we've done a bowling casino event, which was a fun fundraiser. And then this year, with being the driving force behind the Hall of Honor event, and that in conjunction with our 30th anniversary celebration, we're not going to be able to do a full-blown fundraiser as we have in years past. And we're looking at just kind of revamping that a little bit. We are looking possibly at doing something with the incubator program, because once the course runs through the end of the year, the teams of students will do their pitch night. And we're looking at possibly having an event around pitch night.
Great. Now you mentioned what the first awards were, what the total amount was. How much do you award generally in the course of a year? How much
for our grants?
For your grants.
We generally commit approximately 5% of our endowment to grants. And so for the last few years, we've been able to award upwards of $30,000 a year for educational opportunities in our district.
That makes a significant difference to the things that our students can have access to. That's a significant commitment. So.
And one of the exciting things that we've done with that is we've been able to work with the district and trial run some of the programs that end up being then adopted district-wide. So if a teacher has a great idea and they really think that it's something that could benefit students, we have an opportunity to fund that. The district has an opportunity to see how it works hands-on in the classroom. And there are a number. Our technology initiative actually started with a number of grants that the foundation awarded in the last maybe 5 years that led us to say, this is something that we think all students could benefit from, and so then the district adopted it. So it's a really exciting way to be on the forefront of some of the educational opportunities that are there for our students.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned the Hall of Honor. Can you tell us, what is the Hall of Honor?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was an amazing event that took place over homecoming week this year. The two people that were the driving forces behind it are foundation members, Nan Phillips and Joanne Spitz. Nan had recently been inducted into her own high school Hall of Honor and thought, what a great thing to bring to Batavia, to honor whether it's former students, current educators, staff, anyone that has had an impact within the community with students or as students and have gone on to do wonderful things, and we wanted to honor them. That's why it's called Hall of Honor. It's not just an athletic Hall of Fame or just an academic type of thing. It's a mixture of students and people that have been contributors to the community.
So how long did it take to get this thing together and launched? And
Nan and Joanne led a committee that had members of all of our various parent booster clubs. They had community members, and they worked for 2 years to launch this. They wanted to be very careful that it was an activity that could continue in perpetuity, that every year we could look at honoring new members into our Hall of Honor, and that it would be a true community collaboration of choosing who those people were.
Yes.
so how many applications did you get for your first Hall of Honor?
Upwards of 50, was
Yes.
it?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Neither Catherine or I sat on the committee because it's not actually a foundation event. We were the supporting sort of spearhead. We, in conjunction with our 30th anniversary, we thought it would be a great way to celebrate. And so we are one of the committee, and maybe sometimes because we're really passionate about education and about our community, a somewhat driving force behind it, but it is definitely a community. They are their own group, and we support them, and we're excited about what they're going to be doing for this year.
Absolutely. I've heard about the logo for this, and can you tell us about the logo and where it came from and how it was designed?
The logo was actually a previous Batavia student, also the son of a former school board member that is a graphic arts student, and they approached him, and he was really excited to work with the group to design the logo. So that logo is hometown born and bred, which is always exciting.
That's perfect. That's just perfect. Now, every year, how many people do you plan on inducting, or what is the maximum number that you have in mind for this?
Moving forward, 8, correct? Isn't that what we just discussed today? There will
So
be.
I believe it's 6 alumni, 1 friend, and 1 community member.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to nominate somebody for this, how does somebody go about the nomination process?
You would go to the Hall of Honor website. If you just Google Batavia Hall of Honor, you should be able to find it. And the application process is, it's a little involved in the sense that we really want to know about the people that people are nominating, but it's very simple because the application is right there online, and it should be easy to get what you need to do the nomination.
That's great. What are some of the things that you're supporting or you're planning on supporting in the near future? What are some of the things that you've become involved with?
Oh, I think probably the incubator is probably our big event this year. Again, because it's such an exciting opportunity, it's this really authentic opportunity for students to create an idea and find out what it takes to bring that from idea to product, working with business professionals in our community, working with mentors. We have people coming in. I think you mentioned that you've been part of it. So it's this great opportunity for students to work with all of these really involved, caring adults, and then they're going to have a pitch night where they tell everyone about what their product is, and they have an opportunity to be funded to move ahead with actually creating the product that they are going to pitch. And so we're really excited about that because it's going to be this really great celebration. And I think one of the things that's really neat about it is it's not kids who are recognized academically are not necessarily the kids who are going to be in this incubator program. So I feel like we're reaching a broader variety of kids and celebrating the kinds of successes that any student can have.
Sure. And one of the things that the foundation, our commitment to the incubator program, is that we are funding the mid product, which is it's halfway through the process. It's called the MVP, the most viable product. So where they put together their product before when they start to work out the kinks and everything. So it's minimum viable product. And we're funding that portion for them. So that's coming up probably
after first semester,
yeah.
I'm assuming
so
when that'll happen.
Very
so we're very excited to see what they're going to come up with and how we're going to roll forward. And it's new for us, so we're kind of just having an opportunity to be in on the ground floor of this really exciting opportunity.
And reviewing our grants that we've been receiving. That's we always enjoy that. So.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for sharing information. And we look forward to the wonderful things that you're going to be supporting in the future for the students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for tuning into Batavia Spotlight. Remember, you can watch us on Comcast Channel 17, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, or on our website, www.mybatv.com. I'm your host, Ellen Huxtable, and we'll see you again next time. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at 630-937-5413 or email us at info@mybatv.com. Have a wonderful day.